SEO is search engine optimization. So what it means in layman's terms is getting found on Google. So if you want to be able to have people search for a word, see your website in Google search results, and have them come to your website from Google, then this episode is important to you. Now, why do I love SEO? I love it because it works. It is such a powerful tool and it's free. And free is really good in my book. So when we are trying to learn about the basics of SEO, and that's what this video is. This training lesson is SEO basics. This is a simple SEO plan to get you started. When we're learning about the basics of SEO, people talk a lot about keywords, but those who are not SEO professionals or SEO strategists who have not worked within the SEO community sometimes focus on the wrong thing when it comes to keywords. So I want to make sure that you don't make that mistake. So I want to help you. These are some of the insider tips from my experience working in ad agencies and running SEO teams. So the most important thing when it comes to a keyword is not the volume. I know it doesn't make sense, right? You think, I want that word that's got tons of volume because then I'm going to get more people to my site. What I want you to focus more on is the user intent. What is the action that they're going to make with that keyword? So the example that I use that helps people understand, that's helped clients understand for years, is a shoe. So if I'm looking at search volume, the word shoes seems amazing. There's probably over 1 million searches a month for the word shoes. So I'm thinking, okay, I sell shoes on my website. I'm gonna rank for shoes. Now, the first thing is, SEO is not new, so this has been going on for a long time. So if you're going after the word shoes, you're probably up against competition like Nordstrom. They're really good. Their SEO game is strong. Amazon and Zappos. All three of them are amazing at SEO. They're also super authoritative sites, which we're not going to get into domain authority today, but it's something that I'll teach on. I've got some videos on what's domain authority. A new website or a small website is not going to outrank someone like Amazon or Zappos or Nordstrom for a term such as shoes. So all the effort in the world, you're not going to rank for shoes. Not being mean, just being very honest, it's not going to happen as a small business. So, and the thing is, we don't actually want to rank for shoes because the consumer searching shoes doesn't know what they're looking for. So if I'm searching shoes, I could be looking for shoes for myself. I could be looking for them for my husband. I could be looking for them for my kid. I don't know. And you don't know. So all you're doing is returning a page that's a main page that talks about shoes. So the consumer who's searching shoes, it doesn't matter how much search volume there is, they're not likely to buy on the page that they land on. Now, if they're getting a little further down the sales funnel, they have a little better understanding of what they're looking for. They're going from shoes to women's shoes. Okay, I have a little better chance, but I still don't know. Are they running boots? Are they over-the-knee boots? Are they sandals, winter shoes? What kind of shoes? So now if we get into women's running shoes, ooh, we're getting somewhere. Because now I know what type shoes. So if I can send a category page that's women's running shoes, I have a pretty good chance of having something happen. Now when I get to the product level, and I have a consumer who's searching for women's Asics Gel Kayano running shoes, now we're getting somewhere. This is where the magic happens. And I use that as an example because that's my running shoe. So it's easy to remember. The consumer who's looking for women's Asics Gel Kayano running shoe is ready to purchase. If they're putting a modifier after that for the size, they are so far down the sales funnel, all you have to do is rank and show that page, and you're probably going to have a really good chance at getting that conversion. So why is that important? The intent to convert is more important than the browser. Think about it when you're at the mall or you're in a store, window shopping versus I'm shopping with a list and I know exactly what I'm looking for. So from an SEO perspective, the volume is not as important as the user intent. So I want you to really think about that. Really think through the words that you're trying to optimize for. What is the behavior that you want your consumer to have? And I want you to think about using that type term. So don't get hung up on high search volume, because high search volume is not everything that you're looking for. Okay, I know it was a little bit of a my soapbox moment, but it's really important because so many people get hung up on search volume. You can actually have better performance with lower search volume if you have a higher user intent. So I want you to really think about that. So choose one keyword, your core keyword for your page. So in that example, it would be women's Asics gel Kayano. That would be it. If it's a product page and it's per size, then great, we would optimize with that size tag as well. But let's just keep this example simple. So our page, women's Asics gel Kayano, that's gonna be our keyword. So our copy is gonna talk about that. We are going to use that exact phrase in our copy. Now, the way to make sure that we don't keyword stuff our copy is to read it out loud after we write it. Because when you read it out loud, you will hear if you are saying it too frequently, it's going to feel awkward. And that's going to let you know that it's time to edit because it's not working as it is. So read your copy out loud. It's one of the most important things that I can tell you from an SEO standpoint. Do not over optimize your copy. Google does not reward you if you do that. Google wants to provide an excellent user experience for their customers. And their customers are the people using the search engine to find information. So you have to help Google make sure you're providing value to their customers, or they're not going to reward you with good rankings. It's just how it works. That one most important keyword will be used everywhere. It will be used in your meta description. It will be used in your title tag. It will be used in your image file names. Now, in your image file name, you want to save your file with your core keyword. So whatever your images are on your website, on that particular page. Use dashes, not underscores. So dashes between the words. Google understands the dash to be a space. So if you want to improve your ranking abilities, use your core keyword in your image file names, dashes in between. Now they also say, and it goes back and forth, but they say that it's best to end with your most important keyword. So make sure you're doing that in your file names. Make sure you're using it in your title tag and your meta description. Make sure you're using it in your copy. You want to use it in your header tags. Now, if you're not sure what header tags are, there's a couple posts that talk about SEO elements on pages. You have header tags H1 through 6. The vast majority of you are only going to use H1, 2, and 3. So you want to think of it this way. If you're using WordPress and you're using a plugin like Yoast for your SEO, and if you are on WordPress, I do want you to use Yoast SEO, and the free version is fine. You don't have to do the paid version until you get to the point where you really want to improve your SEO. You want to get very strategic. Most of the times the paid version is kind of unnecessary. The free version works absolutely fine. So if you're using Yoast and you're on WordPress, then whatever your core theme for your page is, that's going to be your H1 tag. Your H2 you want to think of basically as paragraph. So if you are separating your concept, maybe you have 3 points. You know, your blog post, your page has 3 different points. Each of those points will be an H2. That's like a paragraph heading. And then if you're breaking that up even further, so you have subheads or sub-paragraphs within your concept there, that's your H3 tag. You don't have to worry about 4, 5, and 6. The reality is you're not going to use those, so don't worry about them. Some SEO strategists will really get into optimizing everything. For you as a small business owner, focus on 1, 2, 3 max. Use your keyword in your header tags, your H1, 2, and 3. That's where you often want to use your secondary keyword. So you choose that one primary one and you use that everywhere. Then you choose a couple secondary. You can use those also in your copy. You can use those in your header tags, your H2s and H3s in particular. Really good place to use those. Then you want to make sure you have product pages. So whatever product pages, products or services that you're offering, you want to follow the same plan. You want to use your keywords across all of them and you want to optimize them individually. Now, you want to make sure, and this is really, really important, you want to make sure that you are choosing unique keywords for each page. Google will only rank the same website 2 times for a keyword, which means if you use we'll go back to our Asics Gel Kayano. You use women's Asics Gel Kayano running shoe. You use that as your core keyword and you use that on 10 pages, you're only going to rank 2 pages for that. So you actually hurt your ranking abilities by using the same word on too many pages. So that's where you want to really get creative and look for other words and look and see what the search volume is and what's the user intent and find other words that will work for you. Because if you use the same words everywhere, you're going to hurt yourself. So make sure that you're being careful of that. Keep a master list of all the keywords that you've used for optimization so that you don't go back and replicate them, because then you've just wasted all your efforts. So make sure you keep that master running list and double check it when you're working on things that are similar content. If you're trying to figure out your SEO, you know you want to focus on it, you want to figure out where to go, I have a great tool for you. It's an SEO checklist, and it walks through everything that you need to have on a new page or a blog post before you hit publish. So I'll put the link to that in the notes section here in the comments. Go ahead and download that, request it. I'll send you a copy of it right away. That way you have it. This is something that I have given to clients for probably 10 years. It's been updated and refreshed. It's a checklist. You can print it. What I like to do is print it and laminate it. I'm a little of a nerd, but hey, whatever. Print, laminate, and then you can use a dry erase marker to make sure that you've got it, or just, take a look at it. But it's going to walk you through what to do on every page before you hit publish. So it's going to help you make sure that you're really working with your SEO program in mind. That's your simple SEO plan. There's a whole lot more that you can get into. There's a lot more depth, but that's going to get you started. So if you've got questions, go ahead and leave them down here in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned for more training on building your business and marketing it, because guys, you can do this. Like, we really can. You can do this.